So I'm going to get started. FEMIN-ICT is about feminizing the ICT sector by supporting and encouraging more women to take up ICT-related careers. The objectives of the project are to explore all relevant practices and initiatives already existing and develop new knowledge and opportunities. Then it's to develop a training program that I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes, and then to target the target groups of the project, but most importantly to target the mindset, the bias that exists in this field. And then third, to provide employers, business incubators, and municipalities with a methodology to enable them to design and create effective, sustainable, and impactful childcare workplace facilities. We have a great tool that Women on Top have created. I'm gonna show it in a bit. This is our consortium. As you can see, we're in Sweden, Belgium, Italy, Cyprus, Spain, and Greece. The partners, the timeline of the project is 2 years. We're almost at the end. We're going to have our final conference in Athens in January. We're going to be posting that on our social media, so you can follow our FEMIN-ICT social media or our partners' social media, and you can find out more about it. The target groups of the project are employers, like I said, senior and middle management executives and HR departments. In the focus groups that we have done and all of our events in the context of the project, we had a lot of women professionals in ICT and a good number of HR recruiters and HR professionals in general. Our target group also includes ICT entrepreneurship support ecosystem as a whole, municipalities and prefectures, and then individual women who want to either enter the ICT sector or are already involved in it, like a lot of you today. So when we first started the project, we did some research. We looked into the current state of play in each participating country, the legal framework and other initiatives that already exist. And we also created a European report just to see where we stand. We conducted surveys, and we also had focus groups that were very interesting, and the results were very, very interesting as well. The first result that we created was a training program, a support package for gender equality. So this includes the FEMIN-ICT gender mainstreaming self-assessment tool, a methodology, and a toolkit for designing mother and career-friendly workplaces in the ICT sector. You can find all of this on our website. It's a great tool that companies and businesses and any type of organization can use to self-assess. The areas that they can assess is leadership, equal opportunities, work-life balance, health, safety, and freedom, education and training, enterprise development. You can see them all, community leadership and engagement. And the toolkit for designing mother and career-friendly workplaces is a great tool as well. And if you allow me to say, it's very much needed. I think my partners, the project partners will also agree with me. That was the first result we created. Then the empowerment program that we're going to show you today in our breakout sessions include modules, national webinars that we all already implemented in our networks, in a lot of times in our national languages. And then the European webinar is also part of the empowerment program. You have already seen the themes for our breakout sessions, and tackle gender bias and stereotypes, negotiations, literacy, public speaking skills, values and visions, self-assessment toolkit, networking, work-life integration. Why did we choose these themes? Because they're important. The skills and the mindset behind all of this is important for women to be empowered, and be more actively involved in ICT. But also we are looking at opening up conversations about bias, gender bias specifically in these fields. Then we created a role models collection of aspiring stories of women in ICT. The profiles of the interviewees include product manager, data scientist, founder of a coding summer school for girls, startuppers, ICT professors, digital marketing, I think, as well. So there's all sorts of women that have been highlighted. I would welcome you to check out our interviews. I think they're great. We have posted them on our website, and we will post a few more. So these are great women from different countries, from all the countries we represent, and they're not necessarily the most famous women, but they're very, very accomplished, very smart, intelligent women. And that was the goal of the project, to highlight these role models to inspire other women to follow the initiative of the ladies we are celebrating with these interviews. And then our last result is going to be a FEMIN-ICT policy roadmap with policy recommendations, how we're planning to do that. We're conducting desk research. Impact Hub is in charge of this result, and we will be doing policy makers interviews in different countries, hopefully, to get recommendations on how we can develop legal frameworks that allow that maybe tackle the gender bias in the fields and encourage more women to participate. You can find more about the project on our website. Please follow us and follow the project on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We're there too. So this is that's about it. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, we're going to have time later. I can't see Moa, so.
Good morning. I'm here.
Good morning, Moa. Hello, thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
Moa is our keynote speaker. She's going to talk about diversity and inclusion in AI and research industry in general. So I'm going to let her talk. Moa, are you able to share your screen, or should I? Wait?
Let's see. I'll try. And then you want to have it in presentation mode, of course. Let's see if I manage. Okay. I'm working in Teams, so it's always this when you're switching to Zoom.
Yes. Although Teams I find more challenging for me.
Yes. But now I hope you can see my screen in presentation mode.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, well then I will start.
Thank you.
So thank you for having me. My name is Moa Persdotter, and I work at Vinnova, the Swedish innovation agency, as a program manager within gender equality and diversity for innovation. And I'm invited here today to talk to you a bit about our approach when it comes to AI and how AI can be a tool to promote gender equality in both representation-wise, but also in solving different gender equality issues that we have in our society with the use of technology. We have 30 minutes, and I will make sure to have some time for questions because I really would like to hear your thoughts about our approach. But I'll just give you a brief introduction about Vinnova, who we are, then about the sex and gender dimension in research innovation content. What does that actually mean and how does it affect technology? And then, of course, the main headline of this presentation, how AI can promote gender equality and our approach working with that at Vinnova. And I want to finish off with some updates from the European Union and what's being done in this field. And yeah, of course, then the Q&A session. Okay, so what is Vinnova? As said, Vinnova is the Swedish innovation agency. It's a government agency under the Ministry of Enterprise and Innovation. And our instructions state that Vinnova's task is to promote sustainable growth by financing needs-based research and development of effective innovation system. And I think that needs-based research is very important, especially when it comes to our approach of AI. So we work with stimulating collaborations between companies, universities, other higher education institutions, public services, and civil society, because we know that we need innovation in broad sense. Innovation is not only technical things or things that you can drop on your foot. It's also about new ways of collaborating, new ways of working together, new ways of questioning what is needs-based research and innovation. So we are really targeting innovation on a systematic level with a system approach. We are also Sweden's expert agency when it comes to transformative system innovation. And we are the national contact authority for the EU framework and program for research and innovation. So we help Swedish applicants when it comes to questions regarding EU funding as well. And we have a gender mainstreaming mission from the Swedish government that affects the whole agency. And it is in two different parts. One is about that we should integrate perspectives regarding gender equality, diversity, and inclusion when it comes to who we fund, who gets our money, who is the project leader of the project we fund, and what kind of field and branches get our money, since it's tax money. But we also work with ensuring that this kind of perspective is being integrated in the research content and in the innovation solutions when that is applicable. So every applicant that apply for funding from Vinnova need to describe how they are working with gender equality in terms of the project team, so in terms of representation. But they also need to analyze in what kind of ways their research or their innovation take this kind of perspective into account when solving the problem or the issue that they are targeting. So why do we care about these things? Not only because it's a mission from the Swedish government, but because it makes business sense. As I said, we use tax money. We have a significant role in doing this in a democratic way, but also to make sure that we benefit the whole society with our research and innovations. And we can see, we have research that shows us when we fund in diverse teams and in innovations that has been taking these perspectives into account, we see a higher level of innovation. We can see growth. We get international recognition for our innovations using these approaches. And we secure competence and talents because we are making full use of the whole society's innovation potential. And we are also building a more social, sustainable society that are more resilient towards the challenges that we all face together. So it just makes sense to do this. It's the right thing to do. And I'm very happy to be part of that team driving these perspectives at our agency. But we also have some Swedish gender equality goals that affect our agency and that affects the research and innovation that we need. So all these are being prioritized by the Swedish government, and Vinnova tackle all of these challenges, but especially the one regarding equal division of power and influence in society and economic gender equality, because we can see that actors and innovators and researchers, entrepreneurs that get funding from Vinnova also have that has a positive change in their career and by so also in regarding their economy or their chances of getting new funding, etc. But to have these goals or challenges in mind, we can also see we can see that when we are financing innovations that do not take these challenges or these kind of perspectives into mind when building or developing new solutions, technologies, and innovations, there is a risk for increase in inequalities. On the slide here, you can see different kinds of innovations that has been before not taking this kind of perspective into mind. For example, in Sweden and likely elsewhere, crash test dummies had always been male, despite the fact that this despite the fact that it's not only men who drive cars. So Vinnova funded a project that developed the first pregnant crash test dummy to include the perspectives of gender equality and intersectionality when testing the safety of cars. And that's just one example of how technology can improve the benefits for a wider range of people in the society, and how it's increasing innovation when you take these perspectives into minds. And the other picture in the middle is showing the face recognition technology. So we've had so many solutions that had not taking diverse data into account when building face recognition apps, meaning that it could not be used for people with darker skin because the data that's been used was of picture of white men, meaning that with technology, there's a risk of scaling inequalities in society. But if you change the approach and ask, so in what way could technology be used to actually increase gender equality, inclusion, diversity, etc. in society? You can see that if you use creative innovation processes and intersectional design, innovation can be promoted, inclusion and relevance can be assured. And that's what we build our program, AI to Promote Gender Equality, on. Because we know that we need to innovate the way we innovate. And until now, efforts done within the area of AI primarily focused on gender-related biases in machine learning and algorithms, such as biased datasets, but also ethical issues regarding objectives, implementation strategies, impact on the job market, etc. But in this program, we want to change the perspective, since it is specifically important from a democratic and inclusive perspective to support and finance innovations within emerging technologies such as AI, where gender equality is at the core of the innovation process rather than an aspect to be dealt with in later stages. And we also know that there is a lack of women in the tech industry at large, ICT included. And with this approach, we think that we can actually increase the amount of women and underrepresented groups being interested in the technology and in the tech industry. So when we started this program, we had some questions that we wanted to know more about. So we wanted to investigate how AI could contribute to the area of gender equality and inclusion. If there are barriers, then what are they? Which different actors should collaborate in this approach? What kind of experts do we need to bring together? And are there actually already existing examples of application using this approach? So we started this collaboration together with some different kind of actors from both the European Union, the civil society within Women in AI, for example, and the UN. And we have published 2 reports on this, one from Ramböll and one from Women in AI, where we are explaining the answer on the different questions. So I will not go so deeply into that, but you can find them on our website, and I can put a link in the chat if you want to dig deeper in our findings. But just to give some examples of startups or applications that have this approach that is already existing. So we have in our portfolio Grace Health that develops a chatbot aimed at women with the goal of assisting users to better understand their fertility, answering questions about contraception and other hygiene issues. So by analyzing the anonymized questions submitted, the chatbot improves its answers and thereby offering even better help to the users. We have Rikare 2 that develops an AI prototype to ensure gender equal learning algorithms in financiers' decisions. So the aim of this project is to create an assessment algorithm for broader financing of an equal and competitive business sector. Using norm criticism, the project explores how innovation in AI can reduce unconscious bias for gender equality in access to finance. We have set a tie that aims at using AI tools to automate the collection of diversity data on international cinema movies. So together with their partners from the film industry and representatives of women in film and television, Saritai investigates how this type of data can be put to commercial use. And last but not least, we have an AI platform, an AI learning platform, because in Sweden we had a gender equal education goal of educating at least 1% of Sweden's population in AI. So this platform is focusing on the horse industry and the horse sector, where we know that we have a lot of active young girls and women in Sweden. So by using this interest, we take technology to a field where women are already being active, instead of always talking about we need more women in STEM, we need more women being interested in technology. We look where are they already active and show them how they, with their passion, in this case for the horse industry, can use technology to even get more out of that industry and that interest. So yeah, this is some examples of projects that we have in our portfolio and that we've been financing. But we thought that we could spread this information in a wider way and spread it on a global arena. So we also funded an hackathon. So we used the Swedish gender equality goals that I showed you before, or the challenges, as something for hackers to hack and to see if we could find commercial solutions of these different gender equality goals or gender equality issues. So we've been doing this in three. We've been doing this 3 times with different collaborators from across the world. We just finished our 3rd one together with Women in AI USA, and the overall theme of that hackathon was global responsible AI. And during a couple of weeks, the hackers get oh, my presentation disappeared. Sorry.
Now I can see it again.
Let's see. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so during a couple of weeks, hackers, with or without any expertise in AI, is being brought together with mentors, experts from the field to try to use AI to solve gender equality issues. And we've been able to show that even with a hackathon just for a couple of weeks, there is a possibility to create commercial solutions with this approach. So this example here is from our first hackathon. It's called Page. So that was a couple of researchers that put together an AI, an algorithm to search for content of gender bias in children's book, to be able to provide parents with information about what kind of books to buy for their children if they want to make sure that they read books that are not written with gender bias. And this other solution was from also from the hackathon, called FAIR, that tackled the challenge of gender equal economy when it comes to heterosexual couples, and how they save for the retirement, because there is a problem with women staying at home with the kids for a longer time of period, which influence their retirement savings. So this product, or this application, used AI to help couple to make savings more gender equal throughout the life. So to wrap up, it is indeed possible to find commercial solutions with the approach of how AI can promote gender equality. But we have a lot of things to still get our to straight out. So we still need to do a lot of impact analysis, like what kind of solutions that we have in our portfolio that we have seen examples of will in the long run have the greatest societal effects. What is technical feasibility? What has commercial potential? What is the need? As I said, we do finance need-based research and innovations. So what is actually the need out there when it comes to gender equality, and who are the problem owners? Where in the development process of different AI tools should we integrate and include social scientists and experts? Because now we know that the teams that develop AI tools in general are in general very or are not quite diverse even when it comes to competence. But where in the specific process do we need to include other kinds of knowledge than just the technical background, such as behavioral science, psychologists, gender experts, etc., to make sure that we do not integrate gender biases, etc., in the solutions that we fund. And how is this approach towards AI and gender equality making us as a society more resilient? How can we make sure that we're not just sitting here and say that, the development of technology, it goes so fast and it's so much risks, but instead actually putting ourselves in the forefront, in the driving seat, and demanding what AI and technology should be used for. And we are out there talking with startups and investors about the importance of using these kind of perspective when building a startup, when building technical solutions, everything from building it with a diverse team, but also make sure to have diverse advisory boards and mentors surrounding the team, but also always critique your own service, product, and infrastructure in terms of intersectionality, data sets. Who are you targeting? How are you communicating? What is the actual need? What is the actual problem of your solution? Because if we are doing this right, there is a great potential in using technology and using entrepreneurship of solving some of our societal challenges, such as gender equality. And yes, there are also a lot of new actions and policies from the European Union focusing on this. So, for example, EU's biggest innovation funding program, Horizon Europe, is taking new actions when it comes to gender equality and intersectionality. So if you're an actor such as Vinnova, getting funding from EU that we should give to applicants, we need to have an officially published gender equality plan, and that is a requirement. Also, as I said before, integrating gender dimensions in research innovation content is now assessed under the excellence criterion, meaning that applicants that do this is seen more excellent than others. So that is really putting a pressure on the importance of these perspectives and how it also raises the innovation level and making it more relevant for a broader part of our society. But also gender distribution in project teams is being a ranking criterion, meaning if there are two applicants getting the same score in a Horizon Europe call, the one with the most gender equal team will get the funding. So it's also something that can assure you some benefits when applying for funding. But there are also coming new directives when it comes to the demand of startups and companies reporting on sustainability, where social sustainability indexes are also being included. There's a lot of pilots going on within the European Innovation Council, where they want to put women at the forefront of deep tech, because there is a lack of talent and there is a need of making the tech industry more gender equal. And there are also a lot of EU-funded projects that are putting a focus on this, such as this one, FEMIN-ICT, and also another EU project that I'm part of that is called Gender Action Plus, working with making the European research era more gender equal and inclusive. So there are actions and there are policies from the EU pushing towards these new approaches and working for making the industry more gender equal and putting women at the forefront of technology. But yes, to make this happen, global cooperation is crucial, and that is why I am happy to see that this project is a global cooperation between different European countries, and I'm happy to see how we can scale these initiatives even further. So with that being said, it's time for me to wrap up, but I just want to leave you with this quote that we do need the entire population's experience, skills, and knowledge to make full use of society's innovation potential, and asking us how AI can be used to do good and not just talking about the risk. That's one way to make full use of society's innovation potential. Thank you. That was all for me.
Thank you very much, Moa. That was a very, very interesting presentation. I was very impressed by the app to equalize savings. I think sometimes it's better to visualize things to convince men that the money that women are getting in general, they're not equal, not even close to the same. But anyway, a lot of great initiatives out there. Are there any questions before I ask? You can share, you can type them, or you can raise your hand and we can give you the floor. No? Okay. I'm going to ask something.
Amira,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, can I? Hello, I will present myself. My name is Amira Maklouf. I am. I live in Italy, but I'm not Italian. I'm a founder of a company organization called Extraordinary Speakers. And thank you for your presentation, Moa. I am doing some work in the third world country. I'm doing work in Uganda. I take speakers in Africa, and to improve women's lives. So my question, so we have a lot of problems about gender equality. My question is there a way that your company can make a change there? I know it is a big question. It is a big question, but I wonder, because obviously we're talking about Europe. I am in Europe, but my platform is international, and we're now becoming global. And I think what you're doing is amazing. It is amazing, but I wonder about the third world countries, about women. What can we do together? What kind of project can be involved in helping women in Uganda? Yeah.
Thank you for your question. So as I understand it, you mean you're asking me what Vinnova can do?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Vinnova is a Swedish agency, so we are not a company. We are governmental. So we should use our tax money in Sweden, but we are collaborating across the world in these kind of aspects. So for example, the hackathon that we've been around 3 different times, it's been global. So it's been open for anyone from all around the world to participate. So that is one way that we can collaborate, to open up our different initiatives and collaborating calls to all across the world. But we would need a help in spreading the word. We need a help to get connected to the networks, to civil society, etc. But when it comes to using Swedish tax money outside of Sweden, there are quite many regulations. We have some prioritized collaborating countries, but that's from the Swedish government to decide. But our solutions that we fund, we want them to have an international approach. So if it can be used to tackle a gender equality issue in Sweden, it for sure can tackle a gender equality somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we also want to see our innovations and research that we fund, that they are also targeting problems outside of Sweden. And the goals, the gender equality goals or gender equality challenges from the government that I showed you in the beginning, I mean, they are quite the same worldwide.
Absolutely.
So I hope that answered the question.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Thank you, Moa.
Thank you.
We have a question on the chat, Moa.
Yes, let's see.
I'm going to read it out loud, if that's okay. One of the Swedish gender equality goals shared was the equal distribution of unpaid housework and provision of care. Do you see a way to leverage ICT or technology to pursue this goal? How has this objective been approached in Sweden? Thank you. Great question.
Yeah, great question. So there has been some teams during our hackathon that been working on that challenge. And they have been using the kind of sensors showing, you know, when you, for example, do some exercise, you have like sensors saying like, oh, you are out running or you are out walking, these kind of solutions. So they build an app, used kind of the same technology, but that said, it seems that you are cleaning. And kind of as a gamification application for couples to use, so that you could count, okay, so how many times have I been cleaning versus my partner this week, for example, and then you can compare them with each other. So that was the solution of kind of bringing the problem up to discussion in a relation. So it didn't quite solve the problem, more of a tool that could help couples in bringing this into discussion, who is doing more of the house, the not paid housework, because that is often something that, you know, it could be a feeling. It feels like I'm doing more of the job, but to actually get data on it, that was their solution. So and I've also seen another, like someone that's been using like fake currency for solving the problem, that like also gamificate solution that for example you the dishwasher gives you 10 credits, taking out of the dish makes you 10 credits, taking care of the trash give you 5, etc. Just to kind of bring it up to discussion. So it doesn't solve the actual problem, but it can make it easier to talk about the problem in a relation. But I would love to see more solutions regarding that problem, because it's huge. Yeah. Let's see, there was someone else here.
Yeah, there was another question before that. I'm sorry, I missed it, by Iphigenia. Her question is whether you have presented and promoted your approaches and projects to governments of other member states?
Yes, so as I said, we are receiving quite much international recognition for this approach, because the most common approach towards AI is either the risks with AI of increasing inequalities. And I mean, the risks are real, just to make that clear. But and the risks, but then also ethical AI. But ethical AI and this approach is not the same. It's two different tracks. So we are getting a lot of international recognition, and other governments want to know how we are working with this. They are reading our reports. So me and my colleague Sofia Ivarsson, we are doing quite many of these presentations. This was quite a, an overlook of what we've been doing, but you can go in more deeper in the findings, in the like what kind of algorithms being used, how the data sets should be more gender equal, or intersecting factors should be taken into account, legal issues with this approach, etc. So yes, we are talking, and we have a collaboration with Stanford University in US at with the Professor Londa Schibinger, working at the Gendered Innovation Center there, and she is also an expert in the European Commission. So we are working with high-level experts internationally on this approach.
Thank you, Moa. I think we have one more. We have a couple more minutes for questions, so I'm going to give the floor to Margarita.
Mm-hmm. Hi, hello, my name is Margareta. I'm co-founder of Smart Coding and FemHire based in Stockholm, Sweden. I would like to ask about your potential work or interest within the area of VCs and funding for women, for female-led startups. As of now, we know that this is horrible how it looks as it comes to what the VCs are, what kind of projects the VCs are funding. So like around 2% of the funds go to the startups that are led by women. Does Vinova plan any actions for the upcoming years to address this challenge? Do you already have some actions ongoing? If you could comment on that.
Yes, of course. Great questions. Yeah, we are internally building a VC network at Vinova because we need to know more about how the private capital is working and being distributed. We have been financing research that shows how biased decisions are being made when it comes to funding, not only private capital, but also public capital, actually. So one way that we, working with this issue is to finance funding, giving us more data on the issues with biased decisions, getting more knowledge about the VC networks in Sweden and globally. But we are also out there right now doing workshops with different VC networks on how they can work with their, of being aware of them doing biased decisions, and how that can help them in doing more, help them to get more information on how to do greater decisions when it comes to funding. Because we all are biased, and we have all these pictures in our mind of what is an entrepreneur, what is a good idea, what is being innovative, what could tech be used for, etc. So if we can make VCs challenge their picture and biases in that field, that could have a positive outcome on how they are also doing their how they are making their funding and what kind of funding strategies they are working on. But with that being said, this is also private money, right? So as a governmental, we can't decide for them. We can decide with the tax money. So we need to be role models and showing the way, lifting up good examples of women entrepreneurs, underrepresented and underfinanced entrepreneurs and innovators, and to really show the data. Look, this is more innovative. This is people building impact companies. This is the future. So we can also have an effect on the VC network by being role models ourselves. So that's what we are trying. Yeah, so that are some initiatives. But right now, yes, we are working with some VC networks in and training them in how to become aware of their biases and how to use intersectional approaches when doing funding. But this is a pilot, so we don't have any clear findings yet. But we are doing things.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting, and I would love to follow up with you on that. So I will definitely reach out via LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
You are more than welcome. I will also type my email address here in the chat.
Thank you very much, Moa. Great questions, everyone. Are there any more questions? Because I think Moa needs to go to another meeting.
I mean, this is a lot of information in 30 minutes. I guess that some of it didn't really make sense, and it was a lot of, you know, difficult words, etc. So please, if it was something that you thought was interesting but it didn't really make sense for you, just reach out and I will explain it further, and I can send you the slides as well, because we really need to be more advocating regards this approach.
Thank you so much, Moa. It's very inspiring, great work, and thank you for sharing it with us today. Thank you for your time. If there are no more questions, then I'm gonna let you go because I know you have a busy schedule. Thank you for being here today. Have a good day.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you and good luck.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
So everyone, we're gonna open the breakout rooms, and you'll be able to change the breakout room you would like to join. The breakout rooms are now open. There's 6 of them. There's a presentation in the main room, and then there's 6 more rooms. So if you don't choose a room, you stay in the main room. There's gonna be a presentation here as well. So please go ahead. Great. Okay. A good number of participants have moved to breakout rooms.
Just to clarify, if you don't know which breakout room you need to go, you can decide. So we have different topics, areas that are going to be presented. I see some people, you want to go to the second one, negotiation and assertive skills. The 4 breakout rooms also maybe public speaking, presentation skills, networking, self-branding, the 5th, and 6 work-life integration. So please go ahead and check what is going to happen in these rooms.
I'm going to put it in the chat, the breakout rooms and the assigned topics. So for those of you who don't remember the topics, or you don't remember where you have what you have signed up for.
You have signed up for the rooms. There is a question, but if you don't remember, it's okay. You can choose now the one that you want to go, and it's free. You can decide which one you want to attend.
If you need to go, thank you for being here today. So I just shared the list of the breakout rooms, the numbers and the topics. Like Catalina said, you can choose where you want to go. It's in the chat. All right, I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes and then I'm gonna start my presentation here in the main room.
If someone wants to go to one of the breakout rooms and like want me to assign, just write it in the chat and I will send you to the breakout room you want to go.
So if you open the list of breakout rooms, you can see them all there. If you cannot which is the link for the presentation. Which presentation, Athena?
Maybe she means the breakout rooms, the presentation that are gonna be doing in the breakout rooms.
I'm guessing. So Athena, you can you see if you cannot see the rooms, you can message skills.
I can send you to that one, Athena.
Okay.
Just a second.
Catalina will assign you. Negotiation is it's breakout 2. Okay. I will repeat one more time. There are 6 breakout rooms. If you cannot find how to go there, please write on the chat and Catalina will assign you to the breakout room you want to go. If you look at the chat, there's a list of breakout sessions and the number with the topics next to them. All right. I'm gonna give it one more minute and then. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. This is the main room, so we will be presenting a self-assessment toolkit for visions and values. So for those of you who are here, you're gonna attend to this presentation. In the meantime, if you join later, if you decide to be assigned to a breakout room, you can write on the chat, okay? All right, I'm gonna share my screen now. Okay, Catalina is checking the chat, so she will be assigning the 2 rooms. I'm gonna go ahead with the presentation. So I'm not gonna address your questions, but please write on the chat, all right? Okay, give me 1 second. I can't seem to share my all right. Oh, there you go. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Catalina, it's moving, the slides. Right. No?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to move it, maybe.
That's okay. All right. For those of you who just joined or just joining, my name is Magda Bakali. I work for Stimuli for Social Change. We are one of the partners of the FEMIN-ICT project, together with our partners Impact Hub, Squared Dot Team, Impact Hub, Women on Top, Coco Association, and Ikigai. We have been implementing this project. In the context of this project, Stimuli has created a self-assessment toolkit for anyone to use to assess their visions and values. What I'm going to do today, I'm just going to go over the self-assessment toolkit, and then I'm going to propose, if you want, we can make it a little bit more interactive. We have about 45 minutes for the session, so I hope you will be able to participate. Before I start, would anyone like, okay, maybe I will go ahead with the presentation first, and then I'm going to ask you some questions while I'm presenting, because I would like to make it a little bit as interactive as possible. So this FEMIN-ICT Visions and self-assessment toolkit is a tool that was created through the combination of existing methodologies and relevant resources. This tool aims at assisting individuals to A, map their values and visions, B, create a personal toolkit that an individual can use to articulate their goals in terms of personal and professional growth, and third, to assist the youth in creating a guide to support them in their decision-making process. The reason we created a tool is because in the empowerment program that we showed at the beginning of the webinar, we have created different, as you can see, different presentations for today with different topics. This is a more of a personal way to look into how you can align your goals, your personal goals with the professional goals, and make a plan for yourself to achieve any goals that you might have. What do we mean by personal values? When we're talking about personal values, we're talking about a set of beliefs that differ in good and bad in your community, culture, or society. That's a very general definition. They form a mindset that defines what you view as the ideal standards of behavior, like patience and honesty. You probably have already guiding principles. Every one of us has developed their principles with different ways, and they define how we make decisions, our leadership style, the way we behave in our personal, professional life. So our values are up to us to express them, to define and verbalize them. Although your core values may be fairly stable, it might surprise you to know that your values change and evolve. Personal values are constantly changing as you learn and grow, and this is why you should understand your own value system and check in with yourself regularly, so we're not the same person that we were when we were 18 in every when we're 13 or 40 or 50, because we build on life experiences, obviously. So our values are not necessarily stable, and that's okay. So what are some examples of values? Assertiveness, credibility, independence, family, adaptability. These are some examples. You can find out more or track down what core values are for you. How do we define or find out our personal values? These are some suggested questions for you. I will look into our experience. What makes an experience important is that the values are being honored. What makes this experience so important for you? So if your value is experience in a professional or any type of experience, this is how to look into it. Anger. What makes a person angry or upset indicates is when their values are violated. I'm sorry, there's a typo here. What values are violated?
Hi, Marievi.
Hi, Marie. We are going to start this room number 4, right?
I don't know the number, but it was about public speaking.
Yes. So Maria
Yes.
is going to present this room today.
Okay.
Maria
Hi, Marievi.
I think she's having difficult with connection.
Yes, I will close my camera because maybe I don't have a really good connection. I am attending right now another training in this about artificial intelligence and education. So sorry for that, but I changed my state, so probably we can have a better connection. So, yes, I will start with my presentation. It's going to be a short presentation about public speaking and presentation skills. I will share my screen. Okay, please let me know if you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. I will do that also in my full screen. Okay. You can see my PowerPoint, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, great. Great. So my name is Maria Vigrezzi. I'm here on behalf of the SPERDO team, the Belgian organization of the FEMIN-ICT project. It is really great to be there and to have this short presentation actually about public speaking and presentation skills. So about the yes, so we know about the project so far. So this we are going through this presentation. We are going to give actually the aim of this. My aim actually for this presentation, this session is at least to remind us the importance of public speaking, not only in our business life, but also in our personal life or in public life in general. And this will be for me at least the most critical thing and the most powerful thing after this small session to get back the idea and the importance of the public speaking and how public speaking could be the skill that is much needed and much improved in our daily and personal life. So let's start with module 4. What it's about is about provide us an essential insight and practical tips to help us shine on this ICT and women in this industry, in this industry of ICT. We understand that public speaking can be a prospect, can be a fear, but we have not to have these fears. We will equip the whole course that we have prepared. We will equip you with tools and techniques to harness your unique strengths and deliver impactful messages. And through this journey, we will explore the power of effective communication, the art of captivating storytelling, the use of visual to enhance our message, and tips to overcome and boost our self-assurance. So the modules objectives that you can see also in the general in the whole learning platform. It was about, for this module, to articulate at least 3 reasons why public speaking skills are important, to differentiate between the major types of species, to identify the 11 core public speaking competencies, and to improve the presentation skills and apply these tips in our species. So what is public speaking? Public speaking is actually also is a process of communicating information to a live audience. The type of information communicated is instruction to inform, persuade, and entertain. Of course, we know that many people fear they suffer from a public speaking weakness and lack the will to, and many people lack the will to master this skill. So the ability to speak before a group of people is a valuable asset as well as an important talent. Like an actor, we can think like an actor or like an actress on stage. As public speaker carries his audience along or disappoints both himself and the audience. It is often said that there is nothing more important to one's education than knowing how to express oneself. And above all, the public speaker must know his audience thoroughly in terms of their needs, attitudes, background, and interests. So let's keep in mind great structure by using words to create text that is both beautiful to hear and to read, substance, and centralize them to appeal and inspire the audience values and ideals, and the impact, of course, about changing opinions, minds, and views. Then let's go ahead with the importance of the public speaking in business. In our life in general, we can say that the greatest public spaces in the world motivated people during dark times, gave hope in times of despair, provided courage, and inspired millions and changed the course of history. Like for example, the Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech that Martin Luther King delivered the speech to end racism in the United States and for civil and economic rights. So now let's see the importance of public speaking and its impact on others are understood. So let's understand the importance of good public speaking in a business setting. So in business, public speaking falls into several major categories: external speeches, that these are delivered to investors, suppliers, and other parties; internal speeches that are delivered to employees, and meetings and presentations.
I think we lost Maria-Evie.
Are much less formal than the above two types of speeches, and I don't
Sorry,
know.
Maria-Evie, it's like we lost you for a second. So maybe we can talk a bit more about this. You can
Now
say.
you can hear me?
Yes, it's like we lost you.
Okay, I'm talking. Okay. So I was talking about the importance of the public speaking in business. In business, public speaking fall into several major categories, like the external speeches, internal, and meetings presentations. We can keep in mind these three categories of the public speaking. The first one is delivered to investors and suppliers. The internal one will be our employees, and the last one are much less formal than the above two and occur more frequently. And having good public speaking skills at an internal meeting can be very important for our career. Public speaking is important in a business context also for other reasons, because for example, gathering employees, stakeholders, customers, or the public together requires time. There should be a good reason to show. We have to have a good reason to do so. Therefore, there is an opportunity to inspire, inform, persuade, and re-excite the audience about a certain idea. The public speaking skill is also of an individual gives an impression of the company. For example, if a CEO delivers a bad speech, the audience may conclude that the company has a lackluster leadership, the company is a waste of time, or that the company is not putting the effort to be successful. Good public speaking sparks innovation and opportunities. For example, a well-delivered speech in a board meeting room can inspire organizational change and push the company in other direction. Every major business decision starts with a good public speech or a group discussion. I provide you this practical example just to reflect on how important it is to be prepared and to probably to improve this public speaking, not only when we have to give a presentation in 4 or 5 people, but also in a larger audience, but also during some small meetings, some meetings that happen frequently or without any official agenda to follow. And the important thing that I would like to remind you I give you your attention is that according to the Association of American Colleges and Universities, there are a core set of skills that are not necessary both for a globally engaged democracy and for a dynamic innovation-fueled economy. And under the category of intellectual and practical skills, public speaking is listed as one of the top of these core skills. So no matter what our ambitions and interests are, developing specific speaking skills will benefit our personal, professional, and public life. So, so here we have these benefits actually not only in our professional life, but also in personal and public life. And to be honest, I think that sometimes when we said public speaking, our main focus is only under the professional term, that yes, okay, I have to give a presentation during my career in one event, but we have to think also that the personal skills, at times we are called upon to give speeches in our personal life, maybe for a special event or as a part of voluntary work, or maybe we have to introduce a guest speaker at an event or present and accept an award for service. Developing the skill to give this type of speeches can help us to fulfill essential roles in our family and the community. Another great personal benefit of public speaking is that it builds self-confidence, and it's not surprised that speaking in public is scary, but by engaging in the activity, we will build self-confidence through this experience. And in general, the public the public point of view will allow us to participate in democracy at its most basic level. Public speaking is important, creating a sustainable society which includes informed, active participants. Even if we don't plan to run for office, learning about public speaking will help us to listen more carefully and critically and evaluate other speakers. And then we have here some types of our species that it will be carefully prepared and practiced by the speaker before. This is the first step, before the actual speaking time. Then we have the speeches that are delivered without notes or the plan and without any form of preparation. They are very spontaneously delivered. This is one of the most never working situation because there isn't a plan or an agenda to follow. They just have to get up and speak without any thinking time. If this type of speaking situation makes us nervous, we are not alone. The reality is that this type of public speaking we are the most prepared for. In our daily life, it's filled with these impromptu experiences and conversation. Every phone conversation, we have to remember that an exchange between us and the loved one, a discussion amongst friends is an unofficial and impromptu, but it's very natural, and we have to practice our conversation. They are still in their delivery. So while most are nervous about these pieces, these are the type that are the most prepared in and most used in our daily experience. If you are thinking about that, and then the last one is the species that are delivered with a script, words and the words to be used. But this could be also a drag for the speakers because the interactivity probably with the audience will be lost, and the speaker who utilizing complete manuscript will often spend more time looking at the script than at the audience. And the last one is the memorized speeches that are committed to memory. The speaker completely memorizes the text of the speech and then delivers the speech from memory without reliance on notes or outline. Then let's make a small definition. Are the abilities and the qualities necessary for creating a delivered and compelling presentation that effectively communicates information and ideas? They encompass what we say, how we structure the material, or what we say, such as slides or images. Why they're important? Because their delivering the presentation is critical in our professional and personal life. A few of the benefits that often accompany improving our presentation skill include enriched and verbal communication skills, enhanced confidence and self-image, boosted critical thinking, problem-solving capabilities, better motivational techniques, increased leadership skills, and expanding time management, negotiation, and creativity. And session, it will be about effective presentation skills, something that we are ourselves in the audience, and at a TED talk or sitting with our co-workers at a big meeting held by our employer. What you will be looking for in how we deliver this message, what will make us feel engaged, and here we can have some few questions to ask ourselves as we review the list of some of the most effective presentation skills. The first one will be the verbal communication, how we use language to deliver messages play essential roles in how our audience will receive our presentation. Then the body language that combine various elements including posture, gestures, eye contact, expression, and voice of the audience. The ability to project our voice, improve our presentation, by allow our audience to hear what's saying. I don't know if you can hear me because my connection is a little bit unstable.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, great. And then the spelling, incorporating spelling into presentation is an effective tool used by many public speakers. It has subjects to life and big positive Don't be alone, so slowly building up suspense or adding a dramatic moment. At the end, of course, be sure to end with a positive take to drive your point home. And with the self-awareness, monitoring our own emotions and reactions will allow us to react well in various situations. It helps us remain personable throughout our presentation and handle feedback well. Self-awareness can help to soothe nervousness during presentation, allow us to perform more effectively. And here's some conclusion that I would like to remind you, and if we can reflect and to keep these notes after this small session, I think this is the success. So confidence is the key. Building self-confidence is a paramount, at least also for us, the women, when it comes to public speaking and presenting. Embrace your experience, let the confidence shine through your words and body language. Practice makes perfect. What does it mean? That like any skill, public speaking presentation abilities can be refined through practice. Regularly engage public speaking opportunities, whether it is through workshops, conferences, or retail meetings, to sharpen your communication skills. And for example, reap this opportunity also with this EU webinar under this EU project, FEMIN-ICT. Tell your message, understand your audience, and tailor your message accordingly. For ICT women, this might involve using a relatable example of jargons when unnecessary, and emphasizing the value of diversity in the tech industry. Storytelling matters. What does it mean? Sharing personal experiences and can make your content more memorable and impactful. Embrace visual ads. Utilize visual ads such as slides, infographics, and videos to complement your speech and enhance audience understanding. Overcome nervousness is, of course, is natural, especially when speaking in public. Employ relaxations, techniques, control breathing, and positive self-talk to manage nerves and deliver the message effectively. Seek constructive feedback, request feedback from peers, mentors, or speaking coaches. Champion diversity and inclusion. As an ICT woman, take pride in your unique perspective and actively promote diversity and inclusion within the tech industry. Continuous learning. The world of technology is constantly evolving, so it's essential to stay updated with the latest trends and developments, and support and empower others, encourage and mentor fellow ICT women in their public speaking and presentation journeys. So that's all for me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I don't know if you have any questions. I saw something. It was a really brief.
It was quick.
It was quick, yes.
Yes, you said a lot. Beautiful things.
But my connection. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Amira. As I said in the beginning, I think that okay, during this session, I think it's the best thing is to just to reflect on something and to take some notes on how we can improve ourselves and to raise, let's say, the awareness of some important things that probably it came to our life, but due to the so many things that we are doing in our daily lives, we just avoid and we just ignore them. So I think that during these sessions and during the whole EU webinar of the FEMIN-ICT project, we have this opportunity to raise the awareness of some topics and some stuff that we can improve in our lives.
Thank you, Maria. I will just maybe take this opportunity to see who is here in this breakout room, because it's also nice to have the opportunity to network to each other. Like, why did you choose this room? If you have done a public speech before, or like you want to be better at it, there is a reason for that. So feel free, please, to introduce yourself and reply some of these questions.
Shall I start?
Yes.
Well, I introduced myself to others before, but I am Amira Maklouf. I am the founder of Extraordinary Speakers. I came to this room accidentally. And actually my purpose and my mission is to give voice to women, to inspire other women. I am originally Palestinian, left my country 30 years ago. I lived as homeless. I went through many difficulties in life. And today I want to give voice to women, to have the possibility to speak, to tell the stories and inspire other women. And I am a professional public speaker, international award winning. I've been to so many conferences, and one thing I learned is about my value. Practicing is so important. When you practice anything, you can make it excellent. So you can join our conference. The next one is going to be Barcelona, the 19th and the 20th of January, called Connect, Bridging Ideas Towards Excellence. And the one after is going to be in Uganda in June, inspiring other women. So it is all about connection. And thank you so much, Mariebi. You said many things that are all true. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes.
Thank you, Amira. Nice to meet you. You are
Thank
based
you, Amira.
in Stockholm.
Sorry?
You're based here in Sweden? Or
No, I'm based in Italy. Actually,
Italy.
behind me is Florence. Yes, I live in Siena in Tuscany.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Amira, and I will take this opportunity to mention that yes, I think the connection is really important. And for me, I'm doing a lot of stuff. We discuss many things with Catastrophic in Porto, but I think the way that we can help people, and especially women, is really important, and it's really great if we can help others to just to so their greatest of their life. And for me, it's really nice. And on Monday, I had a discussion with with the NGO, let's say, to do some voluntary services and to help others. Actually, okay, I'm a young woman. Why not? I'm thinking, okay, why not to not talk with my work, but also with some volunteer action, at least to have a discussion about what I'm doing in my life, and maybe this discussion can help another women and at least women to do something and to change somehow their life. So I think it's
Absolutely.
important if we can manage some time to connect with us, with other people all around the world, actually. I think can use the power of the laptops. We can connect from our laptop from everywhere. I think we can make do we can provide some changes in this society by helping and just have a small talk with another woman. I think this is really important.
Yes. Thank you. I can't hear you.
Thank you. I say if someone else here want to introduce themselves, otherwise I think we can come back to the main session. I don't know if it's Smara, Tina, Irene. Maybe just listen. Okay, so I think that would be for this breakout room. We can go back to the main session. Thank you, Maria, so much, and thank you, Amira, for.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catalina. Thank you, Amira.
We will be waiting for the rest of the colleagues to come back. from their presentations. And the participants as well.
I think some people in other rooms are having presentations. Yeah.
Yes, I just finished mine, and there are no more questions. So we're gonna wait until everybody comes back. Unless there are questions, I'm happy to answer. Of course.
Maybe just to hear which other sessions are here and what were you presenting? I know Magda, Gabriela, just to know a bit of what you were presenting.
If you want, you can write on the chat also your current career or study goal in ICT, if that's easier to share. We would like to hear about your background. So to know who is attending our webinar. If you want to write, you can write in one word your current career or study goal. That goes well with the self-assessment toolkit I just presented, because it's about goals and plans. So how to match your personal growth and professional growth goals with your visions and values. How's everyone else doing, Catalina, in the other rooms?
They are still in their session. I think it's until 10:45, but we were number 4. We were talking about speech and communication skills. That was super interesting. I think branding, it's also here. Gabriela was talking about self-branding.
Perfect.
And we're waiting only for the 3 other rooms to come back.
Oh, thank you, Amira, for sharing your profile, your motivational speaking company. Oh, that gives voice to women. That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's great. It goes to show the importance of showcasing other women, because that when they're speakers, and you can get inspired, and
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
and it creates the role model impact, I think.
Especially hearing stories from women who have
Yeah.
been there, and it can change your life. Absolutely. Yeah.
How come did you choose Uganda? I was there this July, and I
Oh,
love
really?
it. So,
Because
yeah.
I was contacted by a company who needed help, and actually it aligned with the mission of my organization. I want to give voice to women. I see that so many speaking companies go and speak in communities where women already know a lot, and they connect people, with each other that are on the same level. Whereas in Uganda, I'm taking speakers next June to talk to women who really need help, like in the community. We're going to do translation. We're having a tent, and like 500 women that they are new entrepreneurs. They need a concrete help. So speakers will be speaking to women. They will change lives directly. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. Maria, you have
Magda, sorry, my colleague doesn't know. She's not. She doesn't know how to go back to the main session. I don't know what kind of problem she has. Can you move her back to the main.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Anna Andretta. She's in the breakout.
I just
Thank you very much.
Okay, I see Catalina just notified everyone they have 2 minutes to come back. That's great. Thank you. Okay, we have another participant who says there are immigration and global mobility, seeing the changes in immigration within ICT and STEM, and great increase in women in these roles. Oh, that's super interesting. So women with an immigrant background, I see that they're in ICT and STEM, or women who move. Renzi, that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing. For those who just joined, I asked people to share with one word their ICT goals in the chat in terms of study or professional goals. So some participants have been sharing their background. So this is something that you want to study, I assume, Nancy. It's more interesting. Let's wait a few more minutes. So I think everybody should be coming back now.
Yes, almost everyone. Maria was in work-life integration, so we know that room is back. We're waiting for maybe, yeah, room number 3 is here. Lucia.
Yes, we were back. It was being really interesting, so we take up a little more time.
Nice. And then we're waiting also for the number 1, gender bias and stereotypes in ICT. But waiting to hear a lot about it.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming back. I think, do we have all of our rooms back? No? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Would you like to go around and share some takeouts or some discussions that took place in your breakout sessions? I'm gonna ask Nelope from the first breakout room if she wants to share anything.
I would more possibly like for the participants to share, not me. I was the facilitator. So if Margareta or if Yenia, Areti, or anyone else who came and went in our breakout room want to share a key takeaway or key insight, that would be nice. We finished off the conversation talking about how we should be talking about sexual violence and not only sexual harassment, and how it's different in different cultures, and what is how is defined legally in different countries, and what the conversation should be about. So that's how we ended our conversation. It was a very interesting one.
Great. Does any of the participants want to share anything? We have time for discussion, so if you wish, we can continue part of the conversation here. It's a long one.
If I may add to that, if anyone, because Margareta asked a very important question, if anyone has any global or European reports about sexual harassment or sexual violence linked or not linked to the workplace, please feel free to share in the chat. Thank you.
That's a great question, Penelope. Anyone else from the other breakout sessions? Negotiation, assertiveness, leadership. Any of the participants who would like to share some key takeouts?
Well, I can share. I'm a talker.
Please go ahead.
Yes, it's very interesting. Like, I appreciate this meeting because meeting women from different parts of the world, I was in the room of the public speaking and having a speaking company, and I get to meet many women, and I realize that we really do have really common problems in every area, in every sector. And we spoke about some problems that we face in public speaking, and we have this lady, I think Marievi, she gave slides and she explained about the problems, and they are the same for all women. So it's very interesting also to see that we share as human and as women, as the feminine, so we share the same problems. So like, feel free to just to express yourself, because it is just a platform for us, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Samira.
Yes.
Anyone else was encouraged? Gabriela?
Yes, so I was facilitating the room on networking and personal branding. And to add to what Amira was saying, something that we were discussing is if we as I as a migrant women see any difference or any progress between Latin America and Europe. And we were discussing that strangely, all the problems are like more or less the same for all women around the world. Like, maybe we can feel that there are like huge differences or gaps, but maybe in reality it's not that far away. So that's something interesting to add. And another thing we could do, like with this group of people today, is connect with each other, because also I feel that a lot of you have different solutions for
Yes.
what others are looking for. So it would be really valuable for you. And Susanna, who was with me on the session, has a really good idea for an innovative product that she wants to create, and she's creating already. So maybe Susanna, if you want to tell a little bit more, but I feel that you will have great connections from today that will help you scale your business. Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to share? How about the other rooms? The
Hi.
conversation. Yes, please.
Yeah, I'd like to share that on our room, we talked about intersectionality, and we realized that it's very important, not only gender-sensitive leadership, but also intersectionality is really important to take into account other things other than gender, like being a mom or being a migrant or being a woman of color. Those things have to be really taken into account. And also we realized that without diversity, there's no innovation. If a team is not diverse, they won't come up with any innovative solutions. So I'd like to share that because I thought it was really, really great what we did there.
Thank you, Lucia. Spirula, would you like to share something?
Yes, I was in the group. I was actually facilitating the group where assertiveness and negotiation skills were discussed. And it was really interesting to share with other people how the cultural aspect of the people involved is to be taken into consideration when we have to negotiate something. How do we perceive negotiation and assertiveness and communication if we come from different cultural backgrounds? I think this is the main message of today's discussion related to all these topics that we are referring, because we do come from multicultural environments. So yes, respect each other, taking into consideration some cultural aspects that are important when we negotiate, when we ask about something, when we are being assertive in our life, in our professional life. So yes, cultural aspects are very, very important in such situations. Thank you, everybody, for sharing these nice thoughts and opinions. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very important point. Ifigenia, we would like to hear from you.
Yes. Hi. Thank you. That was very interesting. One point for Spirula. Hi, Spirula. We know each other. I see that a lot also in the communication. You know, when you're a program manager and you collaborate with a lot of people from different cultures, there are a lot of miscommunications and, you know, in writing and verbal, you know, way of communication. And I agree, it's very interesting. So my question to all of you, because we were involved in the other groups, but I wanted to ask, do you have any ideas or practices on how to implement actually intersectional policies, or how to implement practices taking in account the intersectional parameters and so on? Whether you have some, I don't know, ideas, something you implement in your organizations, you apply? If anybody, that would be really interesting to know.
If you have any suggestions, you can also share them on the chat. Thank you for raising the question, Ifigenia. Please do check the chat. Gabriela, would you like to answer?
Yes, so maybe some ideas that we also received during this program and also in our in-person events in Stockholm. We were discussing that yesterday in our in-person event, and something difficult about intersectionality on public sector and also on the private sector is that you are not that allowed to gather data on that. Sorry. Oh, good. Sorry. You are not allowed to gather as much data as you can do with gender. So that's definitely a challenge on that. But I think something really important for private sector and also the public sector is to hear what those communities are needing. So that's a really good first step and something that we are going to work on our next result, which will be the policy roadmap for the whole project. And we want to understand what's the situation in each country, but also what are the needs from women in ICT, taking into account their different intersectionalities. It is really challenging while you are adding aspects to it. But I think it's really good to have this kind of places where we can discuss with different individuals and have their point of view on what is missing, what we can do better, and also for the private sector for the people, for the decision makers to understand what their employees need, what maybe if there are any needs that are not being met by their current policies. Of course, we need to work more on that, I think, both private and public sectors. But I think initiatives like this one are really great for that, to share some of the knowledge that we have and make sure that we include that in our policies in the future. I hope that answers the question.
Gabriela, Margarita,
Thank
and then
you.
I can share my own experiences about collecting data about the gender. So that is not a huge problem in the private sector, but what I have spotted, the ethnicity is. So the companies, the businesses are not really willing to collect and analyze the data about the ethnicity. But from my perspective, it's really important to have this data, because right now, what we are also addressing is a challenge that both men and women are the customers of different tech products and tech services, but they are not it's not equal as it comes to them being the developers of those services and software. So, for example, when you have a product that is dedicated to everyone, the same product is not developed by everyone. So it's not only about the gender, but it's also about ethnicity, I would say. And that is also a challenge I have seen, like women of color, Latin women. So it's that is one challenge. The other challenge is with the gender and how we perceive gender, because for many of us we see only two gender, like men and women. But if we discuss the trans people or people who have more than one gender, like they identify themselves with more than one gender, this is adding to complexity of this entire challenge, and we are now addressing it and discussing this topic with the diversity experts. So I think this is still in the niche sector, that we only divide and we only address two genders, whereas there are individuals who do not precisely say I'm a man or I'm a woman. So that is also something we should take into consideration.
Thank you very much, Margarita. There's the European Union projects that specifically work with this topic. You're correct, and there are like discussions that are happening on that, on different sex and gender identities. And thank you for bringing it up. Penelope, please.
I just wanted to add to what was said before, and maybe try and answer half of Iphigenia's question. I think first of all we need to train people on what intersectionality means and how it impacts our beneficiaries or our clients or our customers or our product development. So, for example, we can't talk about intersectional we can't talk about taking into account intersectionality in designing programs or services or anything really, if we haven't gone back to our target groups and see how intersectional they are and what are we missing. So, you know, it's a very primitive, I think, discussion in Greece right now. So it's a big word and everyone's using it, intersectionality there and intersectionality here. And, you know, but still we are referring to women as a group. And we're not referring to white women or straight women or refugee women or migrant women or unemployed women or unemployed women, you know, members of the LGBTQI plus community, also, you know, single mothers, and, you know, just there's so much intersection going on, but we're not taking into account. So I think the first step is not about policies, but it's about needs assessment and saying what intersectionality means for its research team, for its organization, for its consortium, and for its every one of us. Iphigenia, I hope we kind of covered.
Oh yes, thank you, thank you. It's something that I'm academically interested as well, so that's why I'm asking. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Penelope, for your input. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Anyone who didn't talk about what happened in their sessions, maybe on work like integration or negotiation and services were already covered, but if there's anything else you would like to share? No? Penelope, is your hand still up, or?
Yes. I just like it there.
Maria?
Yes, we haven't shared. In our room, we were a small group, but the discussion was very interesting and surprising because there was our room was work-life integration, and there was a student who is still a student not working, but she is already thinking about her future life, and she's very concerned about work-life integration because she would like to work in digital technology and data analysis. So she knows that there is the risk of not having a work life balance, because we know that technological companies are very demanding because technology is changing so quickly. And so the risk is there of not having working hours, and so having extra working hours, the workload can be very heavy. And so we have shared strategies on how to avoid that, and focusing also why we should avoid it, because in the end it's not effective, because when we all know that when we are stressed out, we are less productive, we are less collaborative with our teams, we get angry more easily. So there are a lot of side effects, and also on the mental and physical well-being, it can be very risky. So that was very nice. I like the idea that students plan their future already with such a wise perspective, because myself, for example, I have been facing the problem when the problem was already there. I wish I thought of that when I was a student.
Forward-thinking student, that's great, very refreshing. I agree. I just wanted to share that I noticed there are so many topics that were discussed in all the breakout sessions, and after Moa's presentation, and that makes me really, really happy. We can see that gender bias, obviously we all know that it doesn't only affect women in ICT, but all women, regardless of their work. And I'm really happy for the conversations that happened. Are there any keywords that you take out today if you want to share in our chat? Because I wrote a list, I took notes while you guys were speaking, and intersectionality came up a lot, strategy, global cooperation, bias in data, like all the things that you talked about, cultural aspects, different approach, all of this, gender-based violence, and not only gender-based harassment, because they're all of these are applicable to both workplaces, but also study places, I would say. So whether you're a student or a professional, it's still applicable to you. Diversity and inclusion, that's correct. The takeout word. Please use the chat to share any material, like our partners just asked if you have any research, or and if Yeni, I believe, on intersectionality, or on gender-based harassment and violence in workplace or outside of the workplace in different countries, like Penelope asked. So if you have anything to share, please use the chat. We're gonna leave the call open for 10 more minutes if you wish to stay here and exchange information or any material. Okay, ladies are still sharing. Take keywords: continuous empowerment, utilizing various local opportunities. Great. Our voice will have to speak up. That's correct. That's what FEMIN-ICT is, part of what the project is doing, is to empower women to speak and have a conversation about all of these areas. Any more questions? We'll have more time if you wish to stay longer. Again, we're gonna leave the call open for longer. Similar concerns I see. There's a question: are there any studies concerning the 28-day cycle for female employees, taking into consideration the risk taking and risk averse related to the cycle? All right, that's a very interesting question. Susanna says there's similar concerns everywhere. Who can make changes? That's right. Thank you for sharing. I would like to thank our FEMIN-ICT partners from all over Europe. I would like to thank Coco Association from Italy, CSI from Cyprus, Square Dot team from Belgium, Ikigai from Spain, Impact Hub Stockholm from Sweden, and of course, Women on Top from Greece. Did I miss anyone? Thank you very much for contributing and organizing this webinar. And thank you all participants for being here. We don't have to keep you longer, and unless you want to. I'm going to keep the call until 10:12. We still have time if you want to keep using the chat. Thank you very much for being here, and keep in touch with our project. I shared our social media on the chat. You can find us on the Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram as well. You can check out our website. Like I said, our results, they will be online, available online for all of you to use. If they're not already on our website, they will be in the next few weeks. And they're downloadable, the methodology, the tools, everything we have created, the self-assessment tool, all the modules, they're all going to be there. The partners have prepared. So, okay, people are sharing links with information, so you can check out the chat. Thank you very much for your kind words. I see a link. Thank you all. I will share one more time our social media. You see if you can share our Instagram as well. Thank you for being here.
I'm on it. I'll put the link to our Instagram profile on the chat in a sec.
Thank you. Please follow us for more updates. Thank you. Thanks for your contributions, Margarita. Thank you very much.
Sorry, in the chat, you now have the Instagram link for anyone. If you want to follow us, I'll put now the LinkedIn profile as well.
Yes, and Catalina is reminding everyone, I was just going to say that, Catalina, we also said it at the beginning, we're going to have our final conference in Athens, the 26th to the 27th of January, and it's going to be an in-person event. So if you're around Athens at that time, you're more than welcome to join. Yes, Margarita, you have a question?
Do you also invite public and private sector for partnership options? Like, do you have partners?
This is already a project that has its partners when it was first formed, but all of us are doing different projects, so you're more than welcome to reach out to any of the partners in the project for possible collaborations. We'll be happy to hear from you. You can find the partners' information on our website or on our social media for all the partners that are here today. If you want to put your information as well on the chat for anyone who wants to contact you or LinkedIn, Margarita, please feel free. And I just wanted to say that each partner has their own specialization. So we all work with women in different capacities or on gender. So there's extensive experience and expertise coming from its partner. So it depends on your interests. You can reach out to us, depending on your interest. Sorry. Thank you. So, yeah, Lucia, maybe partners can put their websites on the chat as well. That's a good idea, Lucia.
Yes, since we all have our specific target groups and stuff, I thought it was a good idea. You can see our info for every partner in our websites.
Maria also shared from Cocoa Association, I shared Stimuli. Let me put CSI. I don't know if Spirula is here.
I think we can all leave here our maybe organizations, Facebook or other social media, and also the websites of the
Yeah, that's what we're doing. I was gonna put CSI. I didn't see you were here.
Oh, it's
So.
okay. And also from the participants, yeah, people who are still here, please share your website.
Yes, that's why I left the call on, so we can all exchange information for any.
Yes, it's important. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Everybody's contribution is really valuable. So thank you very much, everybody.
Policy organization. Thank you. We had scheduled more time anyways, so we're not late. So we're not rushing. And this is networking in the making for whoever was in the networking room. So, okay. All right. I'm gonna send the key for the results specifically on our website, on the project's website, maybe. I would encourage you to check out our tools that are already on the website, on the FEMIN-ICT website, and some of our interviews are there as well.
I can share that now.
Yeah, thank you.
I can present now the FEMIN-ICT website to you for you to see. Can you see that?
I put it a couple of times, but because we have shared a lot of things.
Here in partners, you have all. Are you actually seeing this?
Yes.
Okay. Here you have all the partners that you can find all of our infos here, and in project results, you can find different things, self-assessment tools. Here you can find the role model interviews on YouTube. Here you have all of them. And once the policy roadmap is done, you will also find it here, as well as newsletters, events, and news you can find on our website. If you want to contact us, you can also do that through here. And here you have all social media profiles. I have left the link in the chat, but if you want it, I can leave it again.
Thank you very much, Lucia. That's more effective even. Thank you. Great. Hi, Ifigenia. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I think we're all set. Thank you,
so
everyone,
much.
again, one more time. And we're gonna leave the call. So
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody.